great start. Welcome back to Bibliophiles Audiophiles. Today we are doing Spellbound Seduction by G.M. Ferry.
I feel like she's like our favorite.
Honestly, she really is. And I don't know if I don't think it's because I like the Shrek that much. I think it's more of like satire at this point.
No, I just like her. And I honestly, we mention her in a lot of episodes. I don't know if she knows that.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know if she listened to the second one after the first. I hope she did. Because if she is listening, you'll be proud of us to know that Alyssa is on a dating app. We're not going to say which one. And when we message guys, because, we do it together, of course, we're besties. I'm married. I got to live vicariously through you. 3 different guys today we saw in their profiles that they like fantasy books. And so we would message them and be like, hey, so I saw you like fantasy. Do you like GM Ferry? So, girl, we're getting your name out there.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you have a big, male fan base, but,
It just multiplied by 3. Nope.
Maybe.
Added 3.
Maybe. We'll see. They haven't responded yet.
We'll see. They haven't responded, but I'm ready. Because one of them, we were like, read, get my swap, and get back to me. Okay. This book is on Kindle Unlimited. I believe the first 2 are as well, right? I pre-ordered both, so I don't know. I paid for both.
It's on Kindle Unlimited.
They both are?
The
first one is not on Amazon.
It's no longer on Amazon because
Zon banned it.
Yeah. And I'm very disappointed by that.
I am.
There's a lot more weirder stuff out there that is still allowed, but yet this.
Literal Mormon erotica is fine, but this is bad.
Dinosaur erotica is fine.
Dinosaur, Lola Fost, we love you, but dinosaur erotica is fine.
But this isn't.
And this ain't. It's just...
Fam. It don't make sense.
It doesn't.
It don't make sense.
I followed her on Instagram, and, I remember seeing the post when she said she got it, it got banned on the Zon, and I literally gasped, because I was like, there is so much worse out there. Mm-hmm. That is horrible. She's a girl boss. She recovered.
Yeah. I really want to buy, her physical copy.
I really do, too.
Just to support her.
Shelf-worthy.
Honestly, I think so.
Yeah. I know I gave it a bad rating, and, honestly, when I listened back to the episode, it just sounded like I completely shat on it. But I think that is probably one of my most favorite reads of this entire year, because it has stuck with me.
Yeah.
I think about that book at least once every single day. I'm not even kidding you.
Yeah.
That is a core memory for me now. It's just reading that book.
Yeah. Honestly.
Both of them. All 3 of them. Actually, all of them.
Honestly, if you told me to name, and we're 36 episodes in, maybe?
I think this may be number 37 or 38.
Something like that. Whatever.
Are we counting the bonus episode?
No.
I think this is 37 then.
But
38. One of those.
Anyways, if you asked me to name all the episodes we've done, that's probably going to be one of the few episodes that I can remember.
Yeah. The names of.
Honestly, it's my favorite episode, though, I think. The audio quality sucks. I'll admit that. But it's still my favorite episode.
Yeah. Why does it suck?
Because it's just too loud.
Oh, yeah.
Ear rape.
We have got a little bit better about editing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, that was episode 9.
Yeah, we were still
10.
Very new. Yeah. I think we recorded the first 10 episodes in one sitting because we were excited. We spent an entire day doing it.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I think the most we've ever done is 5.
Yeah.
So.
Anyways, it's on Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah, Spellbound Seduction. Mm-hmm.
It's $4.89 on Amazon. If you don't have Kindle Unlimited, it is number 3 of the Swamp series is what we've called it.
I don't know. Is it called the Swamp series?
That's what I refer to it as. On Storygraph, it is Get My Swamp number 3.
Okay.
So I just been calling it Swamp series.
Sure.
Okay, so here is the description.
Mm-hmm.
A forbidden love, an unbreakable curse. Winston the wizard is a master of magic but a stranger to love. He has a full life in the hidden world of the magical community, but lives with a condition that makes it impossible to fully connect. He's content with his life as the manager of Happily Ever Endings, a club for adult enchantments, until he meets Marigold, a young woman who suffers from a similar condition, and she needs his help to take her on a journey to cure her curse. Winston feels an instant connection to her, but knows they can never be. Can he resist temptation to keep them both alive, or will he succumb to his urges and ruin them both? There are no content warnings on Storygraph, so I made my own.
I think that's just because it's so new.
It is very new.
Because there's not a lot of ratings on Storygraph either.
Yeah. The few that I could see in this is violence, sexual content, cursing, imprisonment, death. It talks about death a lot. I don't know if anybody dies in this book, but it does talk about death a lot because obviously they have curses.
Yeah.
As I was reading it, I tried to remember what like trigger warnings would be possible.
Yeah.
But I don't think there was many.
I think the ones you've listed sound about right.
Yeah, just refer to Get in My Swamp trigger warnings, and it's not that bad.
Maybe not all of them.
No, not all of them. It's not that bad.
If you can handle Get My Swamp, you can
one-
handle this.
Yeah, this one was like calmer than that one. Yeah.
Anyways.
Reviews, madame.
So reviews. On Storygraph, the average rating on that is a 4.13. And there's only like 4 reviews. And there's only one that actually has like written substance on it.
Really?
And it's a 5-star.
Oh.
It says, absolutely love this world that GM Fairy has created. Even though this was about Winston and Marigold, it was still so intimate and delicious. I found this one to be more intense due to the fact that they couldn't touch. Absolutely loved it. And then on Goodreads, it's an average rating of 4.46. There was no written reviews for 1 stars. So I pulled up a 3-star because that's the lowest rating one that I found that actually had substance.
Yeah.
Lord, this was batshit. I had to read Winston's story after learning about it in book 2, but these books don't know how to walk the fine line of ridiculous plot and erotica. If it seems like it's almost there, wait 5 minutes and someone is going to be kidnapped. I'm not even kidding. I mean, it's kind of true. But anyways, the 5-star I picked from there says, GM Fairy has done it again. I think they meant to say folks, but they wrote FOLX.
So like folks, like that's all folks kind of deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know. This story is pure magic, following our beloved Winston the Wizard, who we first met in Get in My Swamp. We are taken on a wild ride of curses, vampires, gold, and lots of steamy, sexy stuff. I was giggling and blushing and kicking my feet and getting butterflies like I was experiencing my first crush all over again.
Oh.
Spellbound Seduction is so freaking sweet, it made my teeth hurt, with just the right amount of dark and brooding bad guys. Honored to be part of the ARC team, and will continue to read anything GM writes.
Same. Not about the
Honestly,
art team, but whatever she writes.
Yeah.
We were actually talking today about how we want to read my AI, which is we may not cover it because I think we already have an A for next year planned.
Well, that can be M. My AI.
Okay, yeah, we'll see.
I don't know what if we have anything for M. I'll look it up real fast. If not, girl, we're adding it.
I would love to do.
We don't have an M yet.
Put the M in there.
Oh my
GM
God.
Fairy, you are going to make a 4th return on this podcast. Just you wait. If you're listening.
If you're not, it's okay.
It's not okay. We won't be sending you a Christmas present.
Beep, 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 beep. Breaking news, this just in. These 2 are idiots. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Anyways,
Amazon.
Amazon.
Okay. So Amazon's average rating is a 4.3 out of 5.
Whoa. Question.
Whoa.
Are we mad at the Zon for taking off Get My Swamp 1?
We are.
We are. So should we even do reviews from the Zon?
This
book is on the Zon, but the first book is not on the Zon.
Well, there is one star rating, but there's no substance on it. So there's 4 stars and there's 5 stars.
We'll read them. Those are good. Good clout.
So the 4-star, this woman has me in a chokehold. Same, sis.
Same.
I read the Shrek books of hers because they seemed like a good laugh, but I'm intrigued to see what this book entails since it's all her own original thought/work. That kind of makes it sound like she hasn't read it.
Yeah.
Yet.
It
Whatever.
just kind of seems like they're leaving a review
to come back to.
Yeah.
Which I don't like when people do that.
I don't either. Because, like, what if they rate it 1 star and then they're just like, well, I'm going to come back and fix it, and they never do.
Yeah, that just
then they leave
takes
a
the
1-star.
rating.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so rude. 5-star. If you like Get in My Swamp and Stay in My Swamp, you will love this. The electric love between the 2 characters is so magical to read about. And that's that.
Ooh.
So anyways.
Are we just waiting for James now?
We are waiting for James.
Oh my
I was
gosh,
just going to
look.
introduce him.
There he is.
James.
There's some spoilers coming up, sweetie. You better cover your ears.
My first note is I pre-ordered this as soon as I heard about it.
Really?
I did.
I didn't pre-order it. I was waiting for it
Months
to
in
be on
advance.
KU.
But I got it an hour before you did.
I actually got it a little more than that.
Yeah. I think it was like 10 something. And then like I looked down at my phone and it was like Amazon took out $5. And I was like, I'm done. I'm leaving. We were on vacation in Florida, by the way. So we were sitting beside each other. And then I got the notification on my phone saying that Amazon took out my money for my pre-order. And I jumped up and ran and got my Kindle.
And she had it. And then I went and I waited. I was reading something else for the pod.
I'm glad my mom
And I
died.
came inside and I went to go look. It was like midnight. And I was like, let me go check. And it still wasn't released.
Oh,
And I was
really?
like, oh, so okay. And then I just waited until the next day and the next morning. But I think I finished it before you did.
I think you did too. Like I stayed up and read half of it that night because I remember I got to like almost 46 or 47%, and I was like, I gotta go to bed because it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and like my son was stirring, and I was just like, man, I gotta go to sleep because I'll stay up reading all night if I'm not careful.
You were doing a photo shoot for your brother and his girlfriend. And I brought my Kindle with me because I was
You
just
were
along for the
reading.
ride. I was just reading it the entire time too.
I know, because she felt bad because she kept looking over and you're like reading your Kindle, and she's like, is she okay? Like, is she bored? Do we need to leave? And I'm like, nah, she's fine. We got a new book. It's fine.
No,
I told her, I'm like, we've been waiting months for this book, and it
We have
released like last night, so she's just reading it, and she's like, oh, okay.
I wanted to catch up because I knew I was behind.
Yeah.
So I felt like it was
The perfect timing.
the perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
But my first note is a quote: "Nothing clean transpired here."
Oh, talking about the sex club? Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, never does. Yeah.
No, I laughed at that.
As you can imagine,
Uh-huh.
it probably doesn't.
No. Mm-mm.
Thank God they got the gumdrop buttons, though.
Yes, they have a whole stack of
A
that.
whole stack. My
But-
second note is Marigold turns everything she touches to gold.
That was kind of cute.
Yeah, I really did, because I like the name, because as soon as it said Marigold, I'm like, was it King Titus that had the golden touch or something? It was some old, I don't know if it's like, obviously it's not real, but like, I think it's King Titus or something.
That sounds familiar,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
King Tut, no.
No.
Not King Tut, not that
Wrong
one. Not that king.
GM Fairy makes another reappearance on here.
I was stoked.
I'm 50-50 on how much I actually like when authors put themselves in. Like, I liked the way she did it last book,
Yeah.
in Stay in My Swamp, where she was kind of just there,
Yeah.
you know, and she was just like a character. I do like how she's more of a presence in the book,
Yeah.
but I feel like maybe it might have been on the borderline where it's just like, okay, this isn't
This is a little much.
little much, you
Yeah.
know? I wasn't too big of a fan of it, but I still thought it was kind of cute.
I thought it was really cute how GM Fairy was the fairy godmother.
Yes.
But why? It like talks about how GM didn't really help her much in her childhood because of her dad, and like when her dad died, she whisked her away.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't she do much beforehand? Did it ever explain that before her father died?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember it ever explaining it. It just mentioned that multiple times she could not take her away until the father died. I guess because it's like a parental thing, but you can still help her. Like Cinderella got help.
Yeah, but Cinderella didn't get help until she was crying in a torn up dress in a bench in the backyard because her stepsisters ripped up her dress
Yeah.
and she couldn't go to the ball after she did all that hard work and
Yeah.
made her own dress. Well, the mice made her dress, but
She watched.
yeah.
That's hard work, you know?
Yeah, like,
You watch mice run around
You know.
and you're just like, dang, I'm wore out.
like Cinderella went through a lot before Godmother came in and stepped in and like,
She's just sitting there watching through like a magic mirror, and she's like, alright,
yeah.
I'm gonna head out. I guess it's time, you know?
So maybe it's similar to
Yeah.
that.
Maybe. I don't know. Like, I don't remember ever explaining it.
Also, does GM in the GM Fairy stand for Godmother Fairy?
That's what I always took it as.
I didn't
was
think about
Godmother
that until
Fairy.
reading this book. I was just
Yeah.
like,
That makes so much sense.
I don't know if it is true.
The only reason I came to that conclusion is my grandmother and my granddaddy, when they signed my cards growing up, it was always G Mother and G Daddy.
Oh, my grandparents will do G-Ma and G-Pa.
Yeah. That's like the only reason. If they didn't do that, I don't think I would have ever come to that conclusion.
Oh, well, that came to my mind when I was reading this one.
Bethel is not going to make an appearance this episode, apparently.
Do you have anything to say?
She rubbed it, yeah.
I guess
No.
not.
Psst, don't chew on that. Quit. Stop it. Oh, there she goes.
I hope we got that. You know, it must suck to never be able to touch anybody, though.
Yeah. Like, imagine, like, just the trauma that she must have went through.
Yeah.
Yeah. To just grow up and never be able to touch anybody.
And especially, well, not that she never touched anybody, but the only way she was touching anybody was, which we didn't find out until later, is that her dad was using that power
Yeah.
of her being able to touch people for golds for his
And it
own
was
personal
his
gain.
fault that happened in the first place.
Yeah.
Because a witch cursed his offspring.
Which I don't understand why the witch cursed her like that.
Sleeping Beauty.
No.
The king pissed off Maleficent. And so she said, when the baby was born,
Yeah, when she
pricks her
turns
finger.
16, then she's
Yeah.
going to prick her finger and she'll go into a sleep
it's a
or whatever.
curse. Yeah.
Yes,
So she
but
didn't want to affect him.
Can I finish my
Right.
thought, please?
No, you can't. Shut up. Yeah, you can't.
My thought is, so she got cursed because of her father, right? Which is supposed to be a terrible thing, but it's not even a terrible thing for him.
Yeah, for him. Yeah.
You know, like that. There was
That's
no.
just terrible parenting.
It's just terrible for her, not for him.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same thing with Winston because I think, like, not on the same
I thought
level,
his parents were sad about that. His mom was sad about that. I don't know about his dad.
but like not in like the same sense where it's just like the parents were thrilled with that.
Yeah.
You know, like it's still like you're not punishing the parents though.
Wasn't Winston's generational? No. I'm thinking of Bradley Woven, which is sorry.
Oh.
That's a book that Larissa bought for me, and there's a curse in that book, and it's generational, so it passes from man to man. Never mind, I'm dumb. I read
No.
that one right after this one.
No, different. But
Different.
bottom line is both those curses, you know, didn't affect the parents
Yeah.
necessarily negatively, unless you want to say like Winston in
Can't have
that
offspring.
time wasn't going to be able to reproduce with anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of that. But like Marigold's curse wasn't like anything that was terrible to the father. So why didn't the witch come back and either remedy the curse or do something different?
That, and weren't both of their dads were the cause of the curse? Yes, but wasn't it because the fathers cheated on the witch?
Winston's, I think so.
Later in the book, it says that the curses were made by the same witch.
Yes.
So did that witch just get around and jinx every man that she was with or something?
Maybe. I don't
Because it
know.
mentioned like one of their fathers was with the witch, and so that's why she cursed them, which it never mentions the witch, I don't think, besides like loosely, like this witch did this to my father and your father were cursed by the same witch. That's why we're immune to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where were you when you realized you were absolutely in love with this book?
Ooh, It would have to be a little farther into... I was really excited about the book, but it had
Yeah.
been a little bit farther into the book because in the first couple of chapters, when they're introducing the characters and stuff, there's a scene where Winston's in the office and GM Fairy's there and Marigold's in there and they're like getting to know each other kind
Yeah.
of because GM's like, I got a little side quest for you,
Get
you
out
know?
of yeah.
And Marigold's sitting there, she's really quiet, and then I guess Winston asked her a question and she answered and he said, "She speaks." And that was low-key tiny
That was
bit
it, yeah.
triggering to me. And
Why?
that's because I was always quiet in school.
Oh.
And there was this one time where I was sitting in math class in like 6th grade. I'm still like I'm over it, but like it's still
bothers you.
bothers
I have
me.
stuff like that. I understand.
So I was sitting in class and this girl, I hate her like so much. Like there was like I think an episode where we were talking about how there's like a cheerleader and she's blonde and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that's her, you know, and you could probably figure out what her name is, but
Emily.
no.
Really? I thought it'd be an Emily. Sorry, go ahead.
But she turned around, she was talking to her friend who was sitting next to me because, you know, they randomly assign you seats and
Yeah,
then, like,
you don't get a pick.
you don't get to pick, and then like a little bit further into the year they'll like switch seats again, kind of just to mix things up or whatever. And so her friend was sitting next to me at this time and she was sitting in front of me, so she turns around and we're about to do like a math review game and she looks at me and she's just like, "What do you think of the math review game?" And I was like, "It's okay." And she goes, "She talks." And yeah, that really hurt my feelings, and I was
Yeah.
trying very hard to make it look like I was sad because it really hurt my feelings, and I was hoping the teacher would notice that.
Yeah.
And she did not.
She did. Notices teachers don't care.
Some of them do. There's very, very few.
I was only in school for 5 years, and in those 5 years, only one of my teachers were nice. The rest of them were mean, like screaming at you in your face, mean.
No, I've had some good ones. I've had some bad ones. I've had some okay ones, you know. This one, she was pretty young, so maybe it just didn't click
Yeah.
or something. I was also sitting in the very back of the room.
Oh,
So-
you said this was what was triggering? Is this
Yeah.
when you loved it? Or no?
At this point, like, it kind of, like, bothered me
Yeah.
when he was
It was
said,
it was an
she
ick.
speaks. It was like an ick, because I'm like, you don't say that to someone who's shy
Yeah.
or doesn't talk too much.
It is like kind of snobbish, I guess is
Yeah.
the word I would give it.
you know,
Yeah.
like that.
I get
hurt me.
that.
But later, I think it was when they started their drive. That's when I started really loving
I
it.
don't know what was going on, but I said I am absolutely in love by chapter 6. Anything wizard themed is my crack. When GM released that this book was going to be about wizards, I was so excited. Anything magic, like witch, wizard, curse related, love it.
Here's a great question.
I have a great answer.
So curses and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
or
Jinxes.
anything, whatever.
Yeah.
Why is it always virgin blood?
Because that's the purest blood there is.
Or,
You don't seem impressed.
or in their case, where it's like, oh, in order to like break this curse,
yeah.
you both have to be virgins
Yeah. Which is obviously they are.
because
But-
they can't touch anybody.
Yeah. What if she wore... I was thinking about this while I was reading it. What if she wore a full-bodied, like, leather suit or whatever, or just fully clothed, but had, like, a slit down yonder, and he wore a condom? Would that be able to work? Because technically they're not touching anything.
For her,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
For him,
No. Yeah, because his is if he's ever intimate with somebody, they die.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his curse. So, like,
But how did he know? Because he never tried.
unless he did.
But then he wouldn't have been a virgin.
That's true. Never mind. Yeah, well, I mean, he did, like, eat her out later, and she lived. But was that because he wasn't intimate? Or was that because they were immune to each other? See, did it ever explain how he found out?
They both were able to recite their curses.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So they kind of knew. Well,
They
she
kinda knew.
obviously she figured it out.
She figured it out, yeah.
pretty easily. Him, I don't know. I guess
Just
he
imagining, like, a 16-year-old Winston, you
Yeah.
know, pulling out his willy, and the girl all of a sudden has a heart attack and dies. And he's just like, oh, it's a magic.
Or nor.
Anyways, Winston and Marigold are going to New York to find a wizard who can cure their curses. He was in charge of her for like 15 minutes, and she already got drunk, watched a sex show, and had a smut dream after. He's responsible. I love that part. That made me laugh so hard. Because, like, GM was just like, I gotta go do this. I'm gonna go catch a show, watch her. And then, gone. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Found her at the bar.
Responsible.
Very responsible.
And then he had to take her home. Right? He took her home.
I thought they left to New York, like, immediately.
No, they stayed overnight because then the next day they were getting
Oh,
stuff. And then we
yeah.
met the baby.
The baby. Yeah, that's my next note. They finally discuss Ogre Baby. Big brown eyes, thick brown hair, light green skin. And I was like, Felicia, because, Shrek, when they had the triplets, right? Yeah. The first one, I'm pretty sure her name is Felicia.
I did. It is. I looked it,
It
up.
is? Okay, yeah.
I looked it up.
I love how GM very adds Shrek lore to this without flat out saying it's Shrek lore. It's like little snippets.
Tidbits.
Little
You know,
crumbs.
yeah,
Yes.
cookie crumbs.
She's leaving us a little crumb trail.
So tropes.
Oh.
One bed trope.
Yeah! That's like one of my favorite tropes ever. Third day in and they're horny. They're in a pickle was my next note. Because they're just like, oh my gosh, we're going to have to get a hotel room. And then he's like, let's get a hotel room with 2 beds. And they're like, sorry, sir, we only have 1 bed. And then he's just like, shucks, what's a guy to do? So, yeah, and then like they're just laying there. And then all of a sudden they're just like, well, very sexy,
Speaking of,
Uh-huh.
you know, because they,
Tropes. Yeah, there you
you know,
go.
mhm, whatever. How does watching others, right, which gets him aroused, right, not count as pleasuring him? So how does that go against the curse?
I'll do you one better. If someone's watching porn, is the person who made the porn getting pleasure from the person watching it?
No,
Okay,
but
then.
I'm talking about Winston, you know?
Yeah.
So he can watch, and it gets him aroused, and it can
Yeah.
get him off and stuff like that.
He is technically not being intimate with them. He is just watching them be intimate with somebody else. That was like the only thing in this book that made sense to me. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I was just like, but like, what if, let's say, you know how he's got the magic powers, and he was able to use his magic-y fingies
His magic-y fingies? Yeah.
to like pleasure her?
Yeah.
You know, to teach her how to like pleasure
Yeah.
herself.
Well,
and stuff?
technically, he wasn't doing it. His magic was doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, exception to the rule. But if, let's say she had the magic powers, the magic fingies.
The magic fingies?
We're calling this episode Magic Fingies.
Magic fingies? Can we, please?
Yes. So,
No,
what if she had 'em?
Winston's magic fingies.
Yes.
I'm writing that down.
But anyways, if the roles were reversed though, and she was the one with the magic fingies, right?
Yeah.
And she was pleasuring him the way he was pleasuring her,
Yeah.
would that count or go against the curse in any way? Like, would that kill her?
I don't think so. Somebody else, probably, but her, no, because at this point, I still believe that they were able to get away with what they got away with
Yeah.
because they didn't know that they were immune to each other.
Right.
Sorry, it's no. Sorry.
But I guess if she didn't have a curse and whatever, you think they would probably die if they were pleasuring him with their magic thingies?
I thought so because at this point, I was like, how did they get away with that?
Yeah.
Like him watching other people, yeah, but he's technically using like magic is an extension of yourself.
Yeah.
And if you are cursed, wouldn't your magic also be cursed? It's
Yeah.
just like what went through my mind a lot. What's your next note?
I said Winston is smart being realistic about the possibility that they can't break the curse. So I kind of like irked me that Marigold was like,
Hi, we're strangers. We're in love. Let's go meet a wizard in New York
and
that
this
we've
is like
never heard of
totally gonna
before.
work and everything,
Yeah.
you know, like all her hopes in that. And like,
I get being hopeful, but at the same time,
you gotta be a
have
little
some reserves.
realistic about it, because if you put your hopes up too high, you're gonna get disappointed. And maybe that's just because I've lived in a life where high hopes and much disappointment, you know.
High hopes, as they say. Whatever the name of that.
Panic at the Disco?
Yeah. I knew it was Panic at the Disco. I just didn't know the rest of the words. It's a bop.
I thought that's true. But I did think that Winston was really smart being realistic like that.
Yeah, because he was trying to, like, get her to chill a little bit, because he was like, I'm fine if this doesn't work out. And she's like, don't be silly, it's going to work out. And he's like, just in case, I'm fine if it doesn't, What did you think about Reginald, the dressmaker?
That dress is so cool.
Yes.
If I could have a dress that can just change based off of what I want, like, when I was your maid of honor for your wedding and you're just like, pick a dress, I was just like, I had a vision in my mind of what I wanted. It is not what I wore.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't find it. So to be able to have a dress,
I'll tell you what, when you get married, I'll wear it.
I don't even know if that dress exists.
Well, surely by then.
Maybe
by now. It's been 4 years.
But
Anyway, sorry.
to be able to have a dress that I can change and make it my own.
I like the mood aspect. Mood rings was my crack in middle school.
I loved mood rings.
Yes.
I think I still have one.
I honestly almost bought one the other day because I was like, I haven't had one of these in a long time. I really want one. Maybe to help my husband out sometimes. They find the vamp wizard. Wait, no. Yeah. Was he a vampire wizard?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I was about to say, like, I wrote vamp wizard, but was weird. Anyways, they find the vamp wizard. He tricks them and they escape. She used her touch and forgot to put the gloves back on.
Rookie mistake.
Like a noob. And somehow they were running and, like, he's, like, just, go on fire escape. She fell and he catches her. And then she starts crying because she's like, oh my gosh, Winston, I'm going to kill you.
And then he doesn't die.
But then he was like, he kissed her because he wanted to spend his last moments touching her.
That's so
That
sweet.
made me cry.
Oh, that was so
It
sweet.
actually made me cry because I'm just like, oh my gosh, like this guy's about to die and he's like, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
I figured something was going to happen like that.
Yeah.
But I still love it all the same, and that's just because, like, I love romance. So I'm
Yeah.
like...
It was like really, this was the butterflies feeling that reviewer said, that
Yeah.
gave me butterflies.
And you know,
tears.
at the end of the day, it does make sense that their curses canceled each other out.
Yeah.
You know? Because, like, I don't know. It just, to me, it made sense.
Yeah. I don't know what goes through my mind when I write these.
You know what I still laugh about?
What?
This book put me in a spell for sure.
This book has me under its spell for sure. I was taking a shower the other day and I thought about that and I still get like third-hand cringe from that. Fourth wall cringe.
I think about that sometimes.
It's just like randomly I'm just like, why? Anyways, this episode screw up is turns out their curses cancel out each other so they can touch. My next note is they blink with 4 exclamation marks.
Yo, I write notes like that too, though. That's not as bad as this book has put me in a spell for sure.
This book has me under a spell for sure. That was pretty bad. That was my like low on this podcast.
Oh,
Yo, no, brah. I didn't write this down, but I just thought about it. Gloves. Have you ever been sexually attracted to gloves before? This book will change your opinion.
well, like those really thin, like leather, like
You know the
cloth
latex gloves when you get to the doctor
No,
and
not
the,
the
you know.
latex. Well,
No, I don't know. My gynecologist, she's got a thing with those fingers.
no, I was gonna say what's really sexy is when like men wear like those really form-fitted like
Leather.
leather or
Yeah.
cloth like gloves.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Especially if they got tattoos on the arms.
Or like a nice like pea coat kind of like deal, like a trench coat.
Oh, you said pea coat, and my mind went to like a cardigan on a dude.
Depending on the dude, cardigan can kind of be hot.
Yes, depends on the dude.
You know.
Chris Hemsworth? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Scott? No.
But gloves.
Yeah. No, because like one of the things that sold me on this book before I even read it was GM Ferry posting about how what was the words exactly? How he wants her to soak these gloves because
Yes.
they're in a limousine and he starts doing stuff. A little bit of the ick because I'm like, what happens if they're wet? Are you just going around with wet gloves that smell like undercarriage? You know? Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Listen, I'm trying to be PG-13 here. I know that our like label says explicit, but we don't have to be explicit. No. Or. No, but the glove stuff, I have never been into gloves, honestly, because being raised by a mechanic, gloves are just nasty in your mind all the
Yeah.
time. Like, you see gloves and you're like, I wonder what all kind of dirt and grease is on that.
Yeah.
My mind has been changed.
Mm.
I'm gonna be buying my husband gloves for Christmas.
You know, you should have got him some leather gloves for your 3rd wedding anniversary.
Was it 3rd or 4th?
Third is leather.
Oh, yeah.
You should have. I know you didn't, but you should have.
I know, I got him a bag. How lame.
Yeah.
I could have given him gloves. No, I gave him a pair of leather gloves, and I'm like, all right, time to condition them bad boys. I'm so glad that we don't do video format yet. Maybe one day when we can learn
Maybe.
to control our minds.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyways.
Let's 180 this. You know, so her curse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no good segue for this. I figured, you know, she would have killed her dad. Like, she's all secretive. She's like, my dad died. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
she definitely killed her dad.
Yeah.
But what I didn't see was him abusing her for the gold, you know, for her touch for the gold.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that.
Well, how did he do,
No, I'm saying I didn't see that coming in the book.
was he like telling her to touch other people? I just got the feeling that he was like, you're gonna do this. And she had no choice.
No, he was making her touch people. I think like homeless people and stuff like that. So he
Oh,
could,
that's bad.
yeah.
Oh, I
So
must
he
have
can
missed
make
that part.
personal gain. Yeah, that's why I'm like,
I remember when I got to the part of them talking about it, I was in the shower at the beach and I had it like listening to it, but I didn't turn it up loud because my dad was in the next room and I didn't want to like disturb him watching YouTube. So I didn't turn it up very loud. So I do remember I did miss a couple parts and I think that was one of them.
yeah, so her dad, which
Yeah.
is why I said, like, with the curses earlier, how I don't understand why it's a curse for him, because
Yeah.
he used it for
He's
personal gain.
profiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was making her touch, like, homeless people and, like, stuff like that.
Well,
so
the
that
witch that cursed her was probably like, yeah, you know, this will change his heart, and it didn't. She's like, oh well.
Yeah, which is, like, why didn't you come back and, like,
Fix it.
edit that?
Yeah, edit.
Like, undo,
Yeah.
edit,
You know, like Sims,
revise
you know,
that.
CAS full edit mode. I love Winston and Marigold together. They're so sweet, you know, like on top of each other, but also like just relationship.
Yeah.
wise. They're really sweet to each other.
And it's kind of, in a way, how sweet and, like, innocent and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How relatable it is, too. Because one of the things that I think it was her, in her perspective, that she pointed out is how she felt awkward being intimate
Yeah.
with Winston in front of GM Ferry, which is so understandable. 'Cause
Yeah.
especially if it's, like, the first time you're bringing them home and you're just, like, you know, you holding hands, or, like, he's got his arm around you.
He's just like, no, sit in my lap.
Well, yeah, that's a little forward.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the first time my parents met that ex that we shared, you know, we slept in the same hotel room
Yeah.
because we were in the middle of moving. So
Yeah.
we didn't even do anything.
Yeah.
But I figured, you know, thinking about it, I'm like, they probably think we
They
are, but
probably
we're
thought
not.
you guys were just, you know, going ham in there
We're
the whole
not.
night. Yeah.
And then when we went and stayed in a hotel after we moved all of our stuff, because we were moving states, he and I shared a hotel bed too. And we were all kind of, you know, those rooms where it's just like
risque.
you have like a hotel room and another hotel room and there's a door.
Yeah,
So our
connecting.
parents were in one, and then I was in another with him, and then my brother was in another bed right next to it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it kind of felt like weird, but also right.
Yeah.
But I guess it should have just been weird because we broke up.
Yeah.
But point being, it's awkward to do that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
I like growing up, my parents were divorced and my mom was remarried, and who she was remarried to, my dad remarried at some point. But like both my parents, when they remarried, their relationships were not touchy-feely happy relationships. They sucked.
Yeah, my parents were like that too.
Yeah, so every time I got in a relationship, I didn't do the touchy-feely. You know, I still have issues touching people because I grew up not touching people.
Yeah.
Because that's the way my family is. We don't touch each other unless we're hugging each other to say bye.
Yeah.
Unless I'm grabbing my dad's titty every once in a while, but he just, you know, he hates it, and I have to do it to make him mad.
Yeah.
You know, it's fine.
Yeah.
But no, like, so when me and Nick first got together, like, every time we went to family functions, I would not touch him. I would stay away from him. And at some point he asked me, he's like, why do you do that? And I'm like, because you're supposed to. And he's like, no, you're not. So then after that, I started trying harder to get more comfortable with being
and
touched.
touching and stuff like
yeah,
that.
with people in the room. So we have kids now, so they know what
They know.
they know what we're doing. You know,
Yeah.
2 kids. We got married a month later. We're pregnant. They know.
Yeah. They know.
They know. They know.
Here's a great question.
I have a great answer.
If she were to have a baby, so if like Winston and her had a baby, you know, she's got this curse where she can't touch people when they turn gold, would she be able to have a baby?
Have you ever seen The Last of Us? It's a video game, but it's a TV show.
No.
They're zombies. This lady was giving birth. In the middle of giving birth, a zombie bit her. The baby was, you know, still connected because it was still in her as she was giving birth. The baby was born immune. I want to believe it would be like that.
Where it would be immune.
The baby would be immune to both of their curses. Not his. He does not need to be getting sexual with that baby. But her, however,
Yeah.
I feel like it would be immune because technically that baby is an extension of you.
So it would be immune to the curses. Do you think?
I think so.
Would the curses like travel down
go
the gene
into-
path? Do you think?
I don't know. That's a really good question, especially with Winston's.
GM Fairy.
GM Fairy, let us know, girl.
Get us a second book in the Winston,
about the Winston,
you know,
the Marigold.
and answer these questions.
Let us know.
Because
if
these
that
are some thinkers
baby-
here.
Yeah.
We really need answers.
I really do need an answer to that. Because like I said, These books are on my mind at least once every single day, and that is saying a lot considering there's, okay, break it down for you. 24 hours in a day. I sleep about 2 or 3 hours a night because I have kids and they're buttholes and they don't let me sleep.
Yeah.
And I have ADHD.
Yeah.
So for me to have a reoccurring thought within 20 to 21 hours of a day, and at least once it is this series and this woman and her art at least once a day, that says a lot for me.
We follow very few people on our Instagram.
On Instagram. I follow her personally and on the podcast.
Our Instagram feed is just flooded with her posts. So it's kind of hard
Love
not to
it.
think about her because of that.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy her posts, though.
One of my favorite ones is when it's like Shrek, and then
And
she's
he's
like
in like that
"We-"
mud shower.
Yeah, she's like, we all grew up having a crush on Shrek, and I'm just like, did we?
There's some people, you know.
Yeah.
Shrek is love, Shrek is life. You've seen that?
Shrek Daddy. Yeah, I think I have. Yeah.
Have you?
I think I have.
If you have not, I feel like we should.
Is it a Facebook group?
No.
Oh no! What are
It's
you
a
talking
video.
about?
Yo.
Bro.
You
You got it? Can you show me? Because I saw, like, ever since I read those books and we did the episodes on them, I get, like, recommended pages on my Facebook, and it's always Shrek stuff. Or Bluey, which I don't know why it'd be Bluey. You're already giggling. That's bad.
I need to understand how you have never seen this before in your life.
To be fair, I don't get on Instagram a lot.
It's not on Instagram, it's on YouTube.
Oh, no. I don't know about that. Definitely not.
If you have never, out of everybody I know, I would have figured you would have seen this.
Or Jerry. Because now our friend Jerry, who does the music for this podcast, he is now getting GM Fairy ads with the Shrek stuff. Because they're popping up on his For You page on Instagram and
This
TikTok.
video is old, though.
Oh
Well,
my
this is 6
gosh.
years. I think it's older than 6 years, though.
Oh, so way before GM Fairy time.
I need you to... It's a 2-minute video.
Only 9 years old. I loved Shrek so much.
Beep, 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 beep. Breaking news tonight at 9. We've got 2 idiots on the microphone. With Bibliophiles Audiophiles News, I'm James. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Shrek is love. Shrek is life.
It's not ogre.
That is horrible. Oh my gosh.
It's Shrek floating out the window that gets me.
Yeah. It reminds me of that Thomas the Train meme. It's just always flying. It's the bedroom and it's all like shirt too. Okay, I don't know if we need to play any of that on here for copyright.
We don't, but we could just segue and say that I just introduced you to this, and I'm so shocked that you've never seen this before.
I have never seen that.
Now you
Shrek is love. Shrek is life. And it's like the dad just walks in and the subtitle is like, what the F? It doesn't even say it. And then Shrek's just like, it's over now. And turns and flies out the window. Oh my gosh. GM Fairy, is that where you got your inspiration from, girl?
Yo, if you know a man had to have made
100%.
that, and a man definitely has to be in love with Shrek. So if he's never read this, boy,
Are the comments on that video?
oh shoot, I closed that out, but I can.
You could be
I can
like,
pull it back up.
have you ever heard of Getting My Swamp by GM Fairy? That would be the 4th guy that we told about it today.
I only have one more note. So do you have anything else?
I have 3 more notes.
Okay.
I love that she was basically adopted by Beck and Leona as their bestie too.
Yes, that's cute.
This book was perfect in this series. This book was a perfect end to this series unless there's more.
Yes.
I'm always down.
Open to more.
I'm always open to more. Anyways, my last note is read in a day, loved the plot and the smut.
My last note is, because mind you, I love this book, but granted the fact that it's still new, there were a couple typos in it.
Yeah.
But I can't fault anything for that because it's still a brand new book, so
Still time to fix it.
Time
yeah.
to fix, because like I said, or like we said, we read it the first day it was released.
Yes, like the first
Fresh.
hour it come out.
Yes, fresh. So can't fault anything for that. But anyways, that's all I got.
My buzzwords are magic, happily ever after, and unputdownable.
I wrote, was really excited for this release. It's predictable-ish, but I still, like, loved it. Like, you know, there's those books where it's like, you know what's going to happen, but it was written in such a way where it's not,
Enthralled anyways.
You're enthralled anyways, yeah. Like, it's not
Yes.
distasteful or anything.
Yes.
So I really loved it.
Loved it.
What'd you rate it?
5 out of 5.
I did a 4.5 out of 5.
Very. I love you more than Alyssa does. So which kid's your favorite?
I'm trying to think of why. I don't know, maybe it's plot holes.
You don't give hardly anything 5 out of 5. I give everything 5 out
I
of 5.
don't know. I'm kind of
so-
having a change of heart suddenly. Not like, well,
I haven't made the collage yet, so you can go ahead
I
and
could
change
go
your
ahead
mind.
and say 5. I
Yeah.
could. But I mean, like, just in general. 'cause
4.75.
I'm starting to, like, rate things a little bit higher than I
Yeah.
normally have. Because I think it was The Secret Society of Witches.
Mm-hmm.
That one. And I was, like, reading my notes, and I'm like, I rated it, like, a 4 or something. And I'm like, but why? I don't have any negative notes about it.
Yeah. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't bad, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the reason why it's not a full 5 is maybe, like, the slight bit of, like, predictableness in it.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, I can honestly understand a 4.5. I gave it a 5 because it hit all the points for me. It hit all my high spots. The smut, wizards, curses, adventure, humor. Like, that's, really great points for me. And that is what I look for in any book. This, honestly, I don't know if it is a standalone, but I do believe it could be read as one.
Oh, it's definitely could be read as a standalone.
Yeah, so I would definitely recommend this book to other people that I know that also enjoy. I don't know about the Shrek erotica. I prefer that to friends that I know can take a joke, but
Yeah.
not everybody.
Yeah, no.
Not a everybody book. This
Yeah.
one is closer to. I think my mother-in-law would like this one.
I don't have anything else.
That is the last of mine as well.
That be that.
We are definitely going to be doing my AI because that book has been on my mind for more than one day.
Yeah.
Probably at least a week now. And then today you were like, I kind of want to read it. And I was just like, sold. You ain't got to tell me more. That's it. I'm sold.
We're doing an alphabet challenge for the beginning of the new year because we've had pretty much all of this month and next month pretty much planned out. So we're like, let's do an alphabet challenge. And we got a couple of those plugged in, but we don't have M, so now we do.
My AI.
I believe it's going to be like February-ish.
I think so. Yeah.
That sounds about right.
I had to go through the alphabet in my
alphabet-wise.
head. Yes, I'm stoked for more Very. So, sis, if you're listening to this, we'll see you next year.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so thank you for listening to this episode of Bibliophiles Audiophiles. This has been Spellbound Seduction by GM Fairy, in case you missed that at the beginning. If you would like to contact us, we have an email at biblioaudiopod@gmail.com.
Yep. And our Instagram is Biblio Audio Podcast.
I'll get there eventually.
If you have any recommendations, you can send us those either place.
Yeah, either one. We are open and ready. Only for GM Fairy, not for the rest of you guys. Okay, well, we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye.